Hello, 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 and welcome back to some more Rune Factory 2, watering can only. It's a rainy afternoon, so let's all go to bed and sleep. And in today's episode, much like many episodes, I don't really expect anything to be happening. Let's head on down to the island and see how our clovers are doing, even though those shouldn't be ready until midwinter, and it's early fall right now, so nothing's going on with them. Yeah, let's go to the island. I have no idea what to record to upload for tomorrow. I say tomorrow. When this episode is going up. Yeah. No clue what to put up, so oh well. This should need harvesting. Oh! I've been wondering lately about just like joining random D&D groups for like one-shots and stuff. Tried to do it yesterday. Didn't really find any that looked interesting. Tried to do it last night. Weren't any games active. Tried to do it today. The only games active are pay to play, and I really don't want to have to pay extra money just to play some D&D. It's like, it's really weird because it's like, okay, what are the things that I say that I enjoy? Playing Magic, specifically Commander. Why did I just get a sound like someone joined the voice call, but I'm not in a voice call? I'm sorry, what? Playing Magic, especially Commander, but when I actually play Commander, mostly because I've been doing it via webcam, it's like, right, now I remember the quote that I was wanting to start this episode on. I am so tired of trying not to care about things. Because, like, that's how you have to go through life. You have to not care what people think about you, not care about what people say about you, not care about what other people do when around you. If you care about stuff, you're a loser who deserves to not have any friends and to die alone. If you care about anything at all, people will laugh at you and insult you for daring to care about anything. And it's like, I want to be able to care about stuff, and I want to, you know, be with people who care about things. It's like, I've had people that I've tried to be friends with, which is like, oh, hey, we should do something together. It's like, oh, yeah, we should. What do you want to do? I don't know. Should we play a game? I don't know. Should we play this game? I don't know. Oh, do you want to, like, watch a show? I don't know. It's like, yeah, I understand that if you don't care about stuff, that you don't, like, get hurt as easily when things happen. Like, if you play a game and it completely, like, crashes on you and loses all of your progress since the last save, and it's been a while since you've last saved, If you care about it, well, that's kind of really bad. But if you don't care about it, it's like, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just a game. And it's like, people's attitude of, oh, it's just a game, so it doesn't matter, is absolutely infuriating. Like, if you're going to do something and you don't care about it, why are you doing the thing? And it's like, oh, well, it's not like you need to play the game to live. It's like, studies show that actually having some form of, you know, entertainment or whatever keeps people from, you know, depression, and actually is required for people to live. Having... So, yeah, just a game. If I lived in, like, a world without, like, just games, I would not be living in that world. I would not still be living in that world. There needs to be some sort of fun, some sort of enjoyment, some sort of reason for living. And, like, what do other, you know... What do other grown-ups do? What do other adults do for, you know, for fun? They watch people play sports. I have actually no interest in sports. I've tried to get interest in sports. Could never get a hang of it. Maybe sometimes they play sports. Again, don't have interest really in playing sports. Maybe like once every couple of months I could get in for a game of baseball or something. Like, I could do something, or, you know, I could do something sport-like with a group of people that isn't strictly a sport where you adhere to specific sport competitive rules. Like, I can do physical activities with people and enjoy them. Like, you know, go out to the park, play frisbee golf or whatever. It's like, yeah, that, you know, that's just enjoyable fun. But, you know, going into playing, like, actual golf, just the sheer act of the playing of the golf itself, I find to be rather boring. The activity of being with a group of people and, you know, chatting and walking and etc. together, I find more enjoyable than actually playing the game. But the issue is, I can't find people who would actually just want to hang out together because I'm an inherently unlikable person. So it's like, I feed off of the social energy of others, but when they're either A, aren't others around, like, you know, 90% of my life, basically, or when the people I'm around don't have any energy, can't feed off of anything. Like, the video isn't up yet, and probably won't be up for at least a few more weeks at the earliest. But when I played, like, Lethal Company with Chandra, I was just having sheer fun the entire time. And it's like, the game part itself didn't even really matter to that. It was actually just hanging out with Chandra and chatting and, you know, goofing around together and stuff. What we were doing didn't matter. It was the fact that we were together that did. So, but if she had, and I don't want people to misunderstand me because she didn't do these things I'm about to mention because this is a hypothetical, but if she had, say, you know, taken the stuff that we were collecting and throwing it off a cliff and went, ah, lol, it's just a game, it doesn't matter, I would have been like, it's a game and the point of it is to collect the stuff. However, bit of a spoiler, one thing that she did do was try to bring stuff like back to the spaceship, and then she, you know, fell down a pit and died and lost the stuff, but it was an accident. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, accidents happen. Not gonna get mad at you for that. But if someone intentionally goes out of their way to ruin a game, that's annoying. So it's like, if I'm playing a game and, like, you know, computer shuts off and I lose some progress, it's like, well, that's annoying. But if I'm playing a game and someone walks up and unplugs my computer and goes, haha, it's just a game, don't be offended, I am going to be absolutely livid at that person and not want to ever talk to them again because, like, seriously, why would you do such a thing? One, potentially ruining a $1,000 question mark computer by forcibly unplugging it like that, and two, seeing that I was having a good time and deciding I must stop that. Whereas if the computer shut itself off, well, that's unfortunate, but whatever. It's like, yeah, the difference is in intent. Or like, you know, playing a game with someone and they say they want to play the game, and then we actually play the game, they're just sitting there on the phone the whole time and not actually playing, and not doing anything, not communicating, not hanging out, not socializing, I guess is the proper term for it, and they're just like being their own brick wall just right there. It's like, excuse me, we're supposed to socialize? Like, whatever, it's just a game. It's like, no, it's also a chance to socialize. One of, like, the fundamental needs of humanity is socialization. It's like, would you throw someone's, like, lunch in the trash and say, hey, it's just food? Just because food is a more obvious type of need for humans. It's like, socialization is still very much a thing that people need, and I very much feel like I'm not getting quite enough of it. Here I am, screaming to the void, well, no, talking to myself in a room. I can't even in this room. I have my cat for some of my socialization needs. And a cat isn't great for socialization. I'm good at being really soft, though. Cat really has the softness thing down pat. Yes. So, like, I like the idea of doing things with other people. I think that's the biggest thing right there. You know, I'm just gonna turn the game volume down so I don't have to feel like I still have to talk over it. Because really, why are there trumpets playing? But that's the thing, I want to socialize with people, I just don't want to socialize with any of the people I ever meet. It's like, yeah, I want to play Magic the Gathering, not as a state of trying to win the game, or even necessarily trying to do like cool interactions and combos with these cards, but in a sense of, I want to use this as an excuse to talk to people in a setting where we have a communal interest to talk about. We're playing, you know, a game together, we can talk about the game. That's right, like a thing I was trying to do with this channel was like bring people in and just basically podcast, just talk about whatever, and also there's a game in the background. Nothing matters. But I really struggle with socializing with people, and I know from a therapist that I've talked to that all of the problem is on my half and I have to change who I am fundamentally as a person if I want anyone to ever like me ever. But sometimes it feels like the other person could actually try something as well. Like, someone will post on, like, a public Discord, whatever, that's like, hey, I want to talk about, like, I can't just anymore say, hey, I want to talk about X, because X is apparently trying to be a website now. It's like, hey, I want to talk about, I don't know, this Magic the Gathering card that got spoiled. I think I can make a cool commander deck around it. Who wants to talk with me about that as I try to brew this deck? I go, it's like, okay, cool, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, that is an interesting thing. I wonder if you could, you know, put this creature in and how well that could go. And the person just doesn't respond. Other people talk and the person responds to them, but they just completely ignore me. And it's like, okay, what did I do wrong to encourage this person to completely ignore me? Maybe they thought it was obvious that they already have. Like, they already have the creature in there. That's completely obvious. It's like, okay. And it's like, oh, well, how about, like, so-and-so card. You could do, like, you know, you could do, like, a this thing strategy with it. It's like, I don't know what you're trying to do with it specifically, but, like, this does seem to be an interesting avenue that you could do that isn't immediately obvious to just everyone if you just look at the card. So that could be something interesting you could try. The person just completely ignores me more. It's not like someone else has mentioned it. It's like, oh, it's like, they said they wanted to talk about it. It's like, even if no one else is talking about it, it's like, I at them so they get, like, the pain that I'm replying to them. It's like, or like, heck, someone says, like, oh, hey, this card looks good. I'm thinking about doing a deck about it, but I don't know what to build. Any suggestions? So then I respond, adding them so they get the ping. It's like, oh, how about, you know, like a +1/+1 counter deck? And they just don't respond, and nobody responds in that channel for the next, like, 10 or so hours, and it's just completely dead all of a sudden because I dared to talk in it. And it's like, oh. Again, how am I supposed to not take that personally? Like, how was I supposed to do something different? What was I supposed to do? Or, like, someone makes a post on a Discord, it's like, oh yeah, looking for friends, we can talk about, you know, A, B, and C topics, and these are, like, the top 3 things I'm interested in. You know, try to make some friends, let's talk about these things. And this... So it's like, oh yeah, just message me and let's just talk about stuff. So I messaged them, I'm like, hey, I'm interested in B topic, let's talk about it. And they go, it's like, oh yeah, sure, blah, 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 I like this thing about it. I say a thing about it. And then they just don't respond. And it's like, oh, you know, what draws you to, you know, it's like, oh yeah, you like MMOs, like, what do you play? I don't really, it's like, oh, I play, you know, super popular, whatever. I'm completely blanking on the name of that super popular MMO that... World of Warcraft's like, oh yeah, I play World of Warcraft. It's like, oh hey, I heard that there was like an old school version of that came out. Have you tried that? What's it like? No response. Like, what kind of a character do you play? Because like you can have like, you know, base and class. Like, what do you play? Nothing. It's like, I hear there are like raids and stuff. Are there any good ones? Like, no, nothing. Just nothing. Just no response. It's like, dude, you made a post 2 minutes ago saying that you really wanted to talk about MMOs with people. And I've been trying to talk about MMOs with you, but apparently I'm not the people you wanted to talk about. Apparently I'm not the people you wanted to talk to, because, like, I leave it there for, like, overnight, and months later, even, the person never responds back. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess you just did not want to talk to me. Okay, well then. Because, like, that's how culture goes or something. Instead of just being rude and saying, oh, I actually don't want to talk to you. Because, like, yeah, that's an incredibly rude thing to say to someone. They instead just stop talking to you at all, period, whatsoever. Because that's the nicer thing to do. I'm still not over the time I was in a, like, role-playing, like, chat thread, whatever. Someone, you know, made a post about roleplay they wanted to do, so I messaged them, and we, like, talked it through, you know, back and forth. It's like, oh yeah, blah, 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 let's do this sort of a pair. It's like, okay. They asked me to start, which, I mean, one of us has to start. So I was like, okay, let's do that. So I spent maybe 5 minutes making a nice opening post. Gotta put some nice detail in there, whatever. No, they blocked me. Between the time they told me to start and like 5 minutes later, they blocked me. So I spent all that time writing an opening post and they're like, ha 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 ha! And it's like, that is an incredibly, like you could have just said, oh, I don't think that will mesh very well because of styles or whatever. And it's like, yeah, well, whatever. Alright, I'll go to someone else. They're like, okay, you start. And while you're writing, I'll block you. So you just wasted all that time. And it's like, if I found that person, I want to strangle them. Because, like, could have just said, oh, I don't think that would match very well. It's like, okay, well, that's unfortunate. But it's like, that happens all the time. Not everyone has the same, like, styles in writing and whatever, but no. It's nicer to just completely abandon people and make them think that they might actually want to talk to you. Or that you might want to talk to them. I joined I'm pretty sure it is a women-only Discord server that, among other things, plays Halo on, like, a couple of nights a week. I was all like, okay, cool, that seems like fun. It's like, hey, for the regular, like, Halo events, like, what specific Halo game is used? There's a lot of them. It's like, oh, use the Master Chief Collection for it. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll make sure to have that installed for tomorrow then. Tomorrow comes around, like, the time of the event happens, and I'm the only person in any of the voice chats on that entire server. It's like, what's going on? No, it turns out that they use the, like, Xbox party chat that you can get on PC instead of using, like, Discord chat. And instead of using, like, Steam to invite people, they use, like, the Xbox thing to invite people. It's like, that would have been nice to have mentioned, but, like... Oh, and they don't play the Master Chief Collection. They play Halo Infinite. The person was just thinking that I was asking about some different group thing, whatever, that they were doing on, like, the next day after, that they do on, like, a much less regular interval where they do Master Chief Collection. Instead, they play Halo Infinite multiple times a week. So I'm like, oh, shoot, I guess I'll download that then. So it's like me, the host, and, like, one other person in the voice call. Like, 2 other people, I think? I think it was 4 of us total. And... it's like, how do I say this and not be called out about it? By the sound of voices alone, it seemed like one of the other people in the voice call was also trans. Didn't ask for pronouns or ask for gender or whatever. But also, only the host, one other person, and myself were on the Discord that had said that we were interested in playing. But there was a 4th person in there who had, I don't know, a lower register of voice? Is that the nicer way to say it? It's like, I know I'm trans. I know my voice sucks. I'm trying to fix that. Whatever. Someone else who might be trans in there, it's like, okay, whatever. Unless, you know, they state that they are actually a man. Like, they could be trans women just like me. It's fine, whatever. Just something worth noting, because later on, like, within an hour or so, we pull a whole bunch of people in, and there's, like, 6 other people with masculine voices who are all also in the group. So there's, like, myself, 2 people with feminine voices, and, like, 7 people with masculine voices. And it's like, none of the rest of these people, as far as I'm aware, are on the Discord server. So was it like, oh yeah, girls' time, and then we go hang out with the guys? And, like, since there are so many people in the group, I couldn't really socialize with any of them. Like, at one point, one of them asked me a question, like, oh, do you have any pets? And I was about to answer them, because, you know, whatever, just getting to know someone, that's a fine question to ask. Like, hey, do you have any pets? Whatever. And then someone else answers, it's like, oh, that... Someone else, like, not answered, commented, it's like, oh, that's such a personal thing to ask. It's so, like, weird and creepy. Asking if someone has pets, that's so personal. I'm just like... Okay. I'm really hoping that this is just your sense of humor, and not a thing you actually think. So I was trying to answer, it's like, oh yeah, I have a cat, because, like, whatever, I have a cat. But I couldn't even say that much, because other people were talking, and I don't want to talk over them. So even when I was asked a question, I couldn't answer it. And there were people talking constantly throughout. Like, I was able to get, like, a few words in here and there about whatever was being talked about. Mostly just talking about, like, the game. We played, you know, some whatever thing. Team game, whatever member of the team gets a kill, everyone in the... Oh, no, not a kill. Whenever the team gets, like, 10 kills or whatever, all of our weapons change to something different. I was just like, oh, this sounds like fun. But even then, I think there were, like, 3 other people talking simultaneously as I said that, so... Like, I can't make friends with a big group of people at once unless they are all very invested in trying to, you know, make a new friend, which 10 times out of 10, they're not. Like, they're going to, you know, just talk amongst themselves, and, like, the way to join in with a group like that is to be part of, you know, their playing time for months upon months upon months, and then just wind up becoming, like, a regular feature with the group until they just get used to you being there. But then, do you really have, like, a specific friendship with any of them? Like, I feel like that was last week. That was last week. That was not even a week ago. I don't remember any of their names. And the only reason I remember that it happened was because I did wind up adding, like, the main host on Steam, and I can see her playing Halo Master Chief Collection and Halo Infinite occasionally. That's the only reason why. And it's like, okay, do I want to go through this for a period of months to try to join in with this group? Do I want to join in with this group? So that's also a big thing. When I was a kid, I was told, it's like, oh, no matter what, try to make friends with everybody. Even if they beat you up and punch you in the face, do whatever you can to make friends with them. And say, it's like, oh, yeah, you really did a good job punching me in the face. Hey, want to hang out again so you can continue punching me in the face? Yeah, that's what my parents told me. No matter what, even if they beat me up, try to make friends with them. I've complained about that before, but as you can tell, I'm clearly not over that. And it's like, should I just be over it? Should I just accept that, what? It's so implausible for me to make friends that if someone wants to be with me in the slightest, even if what they want, you know, is bad for my safety and health, I should just accept, hey, at least someone wants to spend time with me. It's like, that sounds like a really bad thing. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to join more, like, gaming servers and stuff, but I keep running into, like, a few different problems over and over. Either, A, for what it seems, the group is basically 100% male, and they assume that I'm male as well, even though I'm not. And when I tell them I'm not, they generally don't care about it. It's like, okay, well, that's just, you know, generally rude. Or, and, like, I don't want guy friends. I've had guy friends before. I don't specifically want to try to find guy friends. I've had lots of guy friends. It's not something I like. And then people say that I'm sexist for that, but it's like, I've had guy friends in the past. And 9 times out of 10, the guys I meet are not the sort of people I want to be friends with. It's weird. It's kind of really weird and awkward to try to explain it, but there is a sort of way of acting that's different between different people, about how some people act in, like, X way and some people act in, like, Y way, and, like, I don't like people who act, like, in a certain way. So I don't like people who act in certain ways of acting. Certain, you know, attitudes and actions that some people can take as their primary method of socialization. And in my experiences, practically every guy that I have ever, you know, spent time socialized, yeah, practically every single guy I've ever socialized with falls into one of those categories of types of people that I just generally don't like to spend time with. I'm not saying that they're horrible people, it's just, yeah, we have different styles and ways of socializing, and I just don't want to be with them. Yeah. It's like how someone who just brushed their teeth doesn't want to drink orange juice, even if normally the person might like orange juice, they just don't want to do it right after brushing their teeth. You know? It's not to say that the orange juice is bad, it's just not what they want at that moment. If you understand that much. Okay, that sounded incredibly rude. That was... Oh, yeah. I'm catching myself. I acknowledge that what I just said sounded extremely rude. If that makes sense, is a better way. Also, the person saw pop up, they're playing Halo. I mentioned it earlier. Yeah, trying to join a pre-established friend group never tends to work out because either A, the friend group is so large that trying to, you know, integrate into the group, you're just like a faceless one amongst the many, and I basically don't get to socialize with them. Or you, like, get to know about anyone at all. Like, I don't even know people's names. I can hardly recognize voices. I hardly recognize voices. I don't remember names. So it's like, okay, just a group of people. Just a miscellaneous group. And then it's like, okay, well, what about if I join a smaller group? Like, say, 4 people, maybe? In my experiences, and surely this isn't universal, but in a group of, I'd say, 4 or more people, actually. I don't know why it is this way, but when I join a friend group of 4 or more people who, like, already know each other and stuff, of course, pre-established friend group, they don't want to have anyone else in their friend group, or specifically, they don't want me in the friend group. Like, I remember a time that I joined a friend group that was playing Among Us. We were playing some, like, modded Among Us, whatever. I think we played about 20 Among Us games, and in literally every single one of them, I was either killed before the first meeting, or I was voted out at the first meeting. I think in like 18 of the 20, I was killed before the first meeting. No, I think it was 17 out of 20 of them, I was killed before the first meeting. In 2 of them, I was voted out on the first meeting. And in 1 of them, I actually managed to live, and I think I was then killed before the second meeting. Like, it's like, oh, we're not trying to target you. It's like, okay, if I'm at all not with a group of multiple people, I get killed. Like, if I'm with a group and they, you know, everybody runs away, except for, like, 1 person's left with me, and then they murder me, and then go and join the group, and they don't get voted out because, oh, well, we don't know that you did it, or whatever. If I manage to actually stick with the group the entire time, and nobody does, because this is modded, remember, nobody, say, cuts the lights to specifically single me out, or drains the color from everyone by calling the comms to specifically come and murder me out of the group. Nobody, you know, turns themselves invisible to run into the group and specifically kills me. Yes. But if I manage to stick with the group the entire time and actually live to the first meeting, then I got voted out. Anyway, it's like, no, I am innocent. Like, you, the person accusing me, saw me do tasks. Like, I did, like, the step up on the med scanner thing. And then I saw you, like, try to do the step up onto it as well, but you stopped because you had to wait for me to finish. The only way with, like, tasks off where you can 100% confirm that I'm innocent, and yet you still want to vote me out anyway. And you say that you're not trying to target me. So it's like, when I try to join a pre-established friend group, it's just basically that, it's like, oh, we're not going to actually say it to you because it would be rude, but we don't want other people in our group. I know we invited you, but we don't want you in our group. So we're going to just actually use you as a punching bag. So in this killing game, we don't actually have to kill each other. Instead, we just kill you over and over and over again, and that's it. How could I have played so many games of Among Us without having been imposter? Oh, I was imposter, like, a few times here and there. It's just, as an imposter, you can still get killed. I think, though, all the times I was voted out, though, I was innocent. So it's like trying to make friends with. Basically, if I try to make friends with people, they don't want to be with me. The only message I can gather from it is that they don't want to spend time with me unless they are also a loser and nobody wants them. Then they'll cling to me forever. And like that's. Chandra is of course the exception because she is not a loser. Also notice she hasn't clung to me. But she is a weirdo. Not saying that as a bad thing. Actually, it's a good thing to be a bit weird because normal is lame. That's why I never play on normal difficulty, but whew. I'm exhausted. D&D stuff. Right. Play Magic with people. Talked about that. Blah, blah, blah. People either care too much about the game and just only want to play patterns to win and get mad if you try to stop them. Or they don't care about the game and they'll say, oh yeah, I say my friend Steve should win because I don't care. I don't really want to do this. So yeah, let's let Steve win. I'm gonna have Steve win the game. And it's like, I don't want to play the game for the sake of playing the game. I want to play the game to like socialize with people. I want to play the game and play some part of people go, I'm sorry, what is that? Okay, that's interesting. So like talk about the things that are being done. And so it's like when people play cards, like, you know, everyone feels their commanders to start the game, and if there are any like interesting ones, like, oh, hey, that's neat. Or it's like, oh, hey, I wanted to build that as a command or a deck. Like, is it like fun? Is it fun to play? And then just it's like, eh. It's like, oh, and that honestly, if I get into a commander game and people aren't willing to socialize, I should just like, oh, it's that sort of group. Okay, leave. I should just normalize doing that more, and then people get upset. Oh, you left the game. Yeah, see, I played to socialize, and you didn't want to socialize. So I left. That's it. I've had games where it's like, it doesn't matter if I win. we can, you know, socialize as part of it. It's like, okay, well, maybe you should do more social activities. Like what? Going out to the bar? No. Screw that. No. If I have to go out to the bar in order to socialize as an adult, to be fair, I have gone out to a bar before. I was able to do a bit of socializing. And then immediately lost all those people, even the people who'd said that they wanted to be friends. Completely dropped contact immediately. I think I got the number of one of them, and I like texted them that night, and then also like the next day, and they never texted me back. So it's like, either, you know, complete ghost, or wrong number. I don't know what the heck we'd talk about. We'd talk about stuff, seem to have similar interests, like, they're like, hey, here's my number, let's, you know, talk about stuff. So it's like, you know, late in the evening text them, it's like, oh, by the way, I got home, okay, just so you know. No response, figure, whatever, they might be driving, they might be asleep, they might be busy, you know, partying around, whatever. Next morning, no text back. And then, so I, you know, text them. It's like, oh, hey, blah, 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 thing we were talking about. No response. Figure. Like, I sent them 2 texts. If they're not going to reply to either of them, then why should I send more? And I believe that not certain, I believe that they had specifically wanted me to text them to let them know that I'd gotten back alright, which is what I did. Most of the time, I don't think to do that. But it was like 2 a.m. I was walking a few blocks. It's like, oh yeah, so, you know, someone who cares about my well-being. Yeah, sure, I'll send you a text. But it's like, I don't want to... Yeah, I particularly don't want to play games for the sake of playing the games. I want to play games for the chance to socialize. Which is part of why, when I'm depressed, playing games doesn't really make me feel better. You play a game, it's like, okay, beep, 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 boop, beep, boop. Whatever. I wonder if that's part of why I don't like Pokemon, because it's just so soulless. Like... Maybe part of why I played so many dating sims as a teenager. I played a lot of dating sims when I was a teen. Like, I was... yeah. But, so I have, joined Discord servers of gamers to see about people to play games with. Most of the people in such gaming servers don't want to do Let's Plays and recordings. A surprising lot of them don't even know what a Let's Play is, which is like a jarring disconnect. Like, you're a gamer, you don't know what a Let's Play is? And it's like, that is so cut off from like my world. That is shocking to me that someone who plays games enough that they would join a Discord server whose sole intent is for gamers. Specifically also a Discord server that has a section where if people are streaming that they can post there so people on the server can watch people stream them playing video games. And yet someone can be on such a server and not know what a Let's Play is. And it's like I would wager to guess that the majority of the global population wouldn't know, and that's like completely expected, but like, you think that's a thing that gamers would know about. It's like, what other like huge aspects of hobbies that I'm in do I not know about? Like, I understand that like there are aspects of stuff that I'm interested in that I just don't take part in, but I know about them. Like, I know that My Little Pony has, like, comics. I haven't read them, but I know that they are there. In fact, I have a few that I just simply haven't read. I know that Ruby has comics, and I have a few that I still haven't read, and it has a crossover with Marvel that I kind of want to see, but not, like, extremely, really. Because, like, yeah, Ruby is nice and all, but it's, like, also kind of, whatever. And I think I did a whole video about it, but it's like, I liked My Little Pony because of the community, not strictly because of the show. I liked the way, like, you know, I had made friends because of My Little Pony. And it's like, I want something like that. Again, it's like, okay, what interests are that's like Magic the Gathering? I've joined so many MTG servers, and so many of them I just get banned because people are jerks, and I don't like that. Yeah, maybe if I stop standing up for myself, people will tolerate me enough to be friends with them, but do I really want to be friends with someone who would rather I just be dead? Like, people say, like, extremely, like, transphobic stuff, and I'm supposed to be all like, yes, you're right, buddy! Let's be friends! And it's like, obviously, no, I shouldn't do that. But according to, I don't know, some random therapist that I was brought along to, I won't say dragged, because I wasn't, like, forced to go or anything. But according to some random therapist that I went to, I have to change who I am as a person if I want anyone to ever like me. And considering that I've said that before in this episode, you can tell I'm not over that. Like, what kind of therapy speech is that? That's, like, even worse than the therapist who literally made fun of me. Ironically, both of those were therapists that I was with one of my parents. So my mom brought me to family therapy, and that was the one who had said that I'd have to fundamentally change who I am as a person if I ever wanted anyone to like me. And there was one who would make really stupid statements and try to, well, if A, then B, and then make fun of me whenever I said, yeah, but. It's like, oh, it's yeah, but season. It's yeah, but season. And it's like, why are you this way? Seriously. Why are you like this? Oh, to give an example, it's like, oh, like, you like cats, right? Yeah. So you'd like it if we, you know, took a cat and skinned it and made it to a coat out of its fur. It's like, no. It's like, oh, but you like cats, so obviously you'd like it if I murdered cats. It's like, no. You like cats, right? Yeah. Well, what if we murdered them? It's like, that's a different thing. Well, you like cats. It's like, yeah, but I don't want them to die. Like, obviously, oh, it's Yabbit season, Yabbit season, Yabbit season. Because apparently I'm not allowed to partially agree with a sentiment. I'm not allowed to agree with the sentiment and argue with the conclusion. If somebody says that I must like something, apparently, according to a registered therapist, I must agree with any accusations people make about my interests. Again, according to a therapist. The examples specifically given were lesser. It's like, oh, you like video games, right? It's like, sure. Oh, so you must love, you know, Madden FL 2012, or whatever. Some sports game that came out. It's like, no. It's like, oh, but you like video games, so you must like all video games. Like, no. We like video games, right? It's like, yeah. I don't like sports games. It's like, yeah, but I don't like sports games. Oh, yeah, but season. I don't care about anything that any of us just said. Except for that, I like tricked you into saying yeah, but again. Like, I was trying to be like sneaky with it. It's like, correct. However, blah blah blah, and then I could see it like being disappointed that I didn't say yeah, but again. And it's like, I was a teenager at the time, going to these therapy sessions, my dad was sitting right there next to me during these therapy sessions. And I told him, I was like, I don't want to go see this therapist anymore because she makes fun of me. He was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I found out years later from my mom that my dad had told my mom that I just didn't want to go, but conveniently didn't include the fact where the therapist was making fun of me. Conveniently, that was not important. What's important was I was being a stubborn teenager and refused to go talk to the therapist. Because, of course, that was what was important. Turn on the volume low. It's 7:30. It's not time to go to bed. Susan. But yeah. I want to make more friends because I like socializing and I want to make, like, good friends. I don't want to just be all like, yeah, here's 100 people, they're all my friends. I don't know 3/4 of them. But yeah, I'd say that they're all friends, I guess, whatever. I don't know them. I remember once in, like, I think it was middle school, for, like, therapy thing. It's like, okay, it's like, here's a circle, right? Like, put, like, 10... Put... Oh, right, shoot, these aren't apples anymore. Put the names of 10 of your friends on here, and I'm just like... If I include family members who bully me, but sometimes we get along, I think I can do 9. It's like, I cannot. It's like, oh, what about some of your classmates? It's like, I'm not friends. In that specific school? No, I was not friends with any of my classmates. No. I'm pretty sure, at least at some point or another, every single one of my classmates in that class had told me that either that I should die or that I should kill myself. That's not hyperbole, they all did. At some point or another. And it almost felt like some of them actually tried to do it themselves at some point. Imagine if I could actually have gotten them charged with, you know, a criminal offense for telling me to kill myself. Just get the entire class arrested. Yeah, that class did horrible things for my self-esteem. I mean, that school was what, you know, gave me depression in the first place. Not that class, the year before, but that class did a lot of bad stuff too. Frankly, I need to talk to a therapist about all this stuff to, you know, vent out and stuff, but what will a therapist do? Will a therapist go back in time and fix everything and make it better? No. Will a therapist tell me flat out that it was all my fault and that I deserved it for being weird? Yes. So why should I see a therapist about it if all a therapist will do is make me feel worse? It's like, it doesn't... It's like, a therapist isn't going to cure my depression. A therapist isn't going to, you know, make me any friends. Like, the closest thing to that, like, maybe if I joined, like, group therapy, I might, you know, find some people to talk with there. That'd be, like, the closest thing. And it's like... But also... So with people online on these Discords and stuff, they're either so tightly wound with their own groups that don't want to expand to fit other members, or they're so tightly wound to their own interests that they can't think of either A, doing something different with someone, or B, including someone else in their interest. I once joined a Discord server, a gamer Discord, whatever, And it's like, yeah, here's like 20 different games that we play on like the rules thing. Except in actuality, the only game that anyone there ever played ever was Dead by Daylight. I tried to get people interested. Like, hey, anyone want to play, you know, such and such thing that's in the roster? It's like, no response ever. Nope, nothing. Look through the thing of like looking for games. And the only game that people had actually agreed to play was Dead by Daylight. So I'm all like, you know what? Screw it, whatever. Either I had the game or it's cheap to get. Or whatever. It's like, you know what? Fine. I'll play some Dead by Daylight with people. It's like, good group together? Cool, let's play it. It's my first time playing it. I told the people this is my first time playing. I don't really know how to do it. But as long as we're just playing together just for casual fun, let's do this. And people are like, okay, we understand. Play together a bit, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, yeah, this is going well. I get to be the hunter. And it's like, alright, sure. It's like, oh, maybe I might get one of you. And then, basically, as soon as I decide to be, yeah, I was going to be the hunter, someone else is like, oh, I'm going to bully you. I'm going to change up my character build so I can bully you. And I should have just quit right then. It's like, nope, you want to bully me? I do not want to be part of it. Oh, well, bully doesn't mean bully. It just means that they're going to be super annoying to you as the hunter and play a character. It's like, if you ever get someone up on a hook, they're going to immediately take it down as soon as your back is turned. They're going to be faster than you are, so there's no way that you can actually catch them. It's like, you know, just a real nuisance to you specifically. It's like, you know I'm new at this game. That's not a question, that's a statement. You know I'm new at this game. So why are you going... And I'm new to your group. Why do you want to bully me? Oh, because it's funny. Play on a map that I never played on before, because again, I was new to the game. The absolute maze of a map. Like, I spent the entire game running around. I never saw any of the survivors. And I could hear them because we're all in the same voice chat. It's like, oh yeah, I got the door open, going to the door. And I'm just like, I am completely lost. They say, ha ha, good. Honestly, it would have been better if I just spent the entire session just standing there in a corner. Not even trying to look for them, just standing there, be on my phone the entire time. It would have made the same impact. I would have had the same impact in the game if I had literally just stood in a corner the entire time doing nothing. But no, because this way, they got to have someone being, like, the villain that doesn't actually hurt them, and so they're never actually in danger, so it's more fun because there's no threat of possibly losing. And they got to bully someone. So I kind of went off on them. It's like, hey, I'm new to this game. Why are you bullying me? It's like, you're saying, haha, good that I don't know where to go. Like, this is all incredibly mean. I got banned from the server because apparently that made 2 people cry for calling out that they were being bullies. So it's like, I think it's Women Gamers server, because I had joined their, like, a Steam group chat that they had. So, and I wasn't banned from the Steam group chat, so I was able to tell... So I was able to see any messages that came through there, which were no messages ever. Like, if I go onto this now, the Women Gamers group chat, I'm still in. No one has apparently said anything, like, ever, in this. Which is weird, because I remember things being said in the past, which was basically, oh yeah, the Discord kind of crumbled, like, a month or 2 after I was booted out, because they realized that the people were bullies. So I'm like, yeah, you were. So I guess I'll probably just join another Discord chat and see if I can, I don't know, find someone to play random games with and see if I can find some people to do Let's Plays with and just... Because I'd love to have a proper friend group, but I'm the sort of person who, like, if you make fun of me, no, we can't be friends. It's like, oh, well, friends make fun of friends all the time. If we're not friends and then you wouldn't know that I don't like being made fun of. If we are friends, then you should know that I don't like being made fun of. Friends make fun of other friends all the time. No, not my friends. No, it's like no, because I don't like it. Oh, we don't mean it to be hurtful. Too bad. If you want to be friends with someone and you want to have that sort of a friendly relationship with someone, you should know how they feel about being made fun of. If you don't know them well enough to know that they are fine with being made fun of, don't make fun of them. Period. I feel like this shouldn't have to be said, but also it still has to be said because people are absolute idiots about this and will make fun of people specifically, like, oh, I'm going to bully you. Or, the last time this episode, you have to fundamentally change who you are as a person if you will ever. If you ever want anyone to like you. Without actually telling me how to change as a person to get people to like me, just telling me to be different. I'm so tired.